This episode is supported by Waterlocks. Waterlocks lets wood be beautiful. And Rockler Woodworking and Hardware. Create with confidence. Hey everyone, this is the last episode of the Kitchen Pantry Project. If you didn't see any of the other videos, I'll have links to them in the description below. In this video, I'll be building, finishing, and installing the wooden countertop. Let's get to work. Building a wooden countertop starts at the lumber yard. It's really important to take your time and pick through the lumber. Make sure you have a nice grain match. Make sure you avoid boards that are warped or damaged. A few extra minutes in the lumber yard can save you a few hours in the shop. Now that I have my lumber and I'm ready to build the countertop, I'll start by running the boards through the table saw, just removing a little bit of material, making sure I have a nice, clean, straight edge for the glue up. I'm using biscuits to build the countertop, and I'll mark the boards out, and I like to use a biscuit about every 10 to 12 inches, and this just helps to keep all the boards aligned during the glue up and makes the glue up much easier. Now I'm ready to clamp the boards together, and these are the Surefoot clamps by Rockler, and I've become a big fan of these clamps. The wood glue doesn't seem to stick to them, and you also don't get those dark black stains that you often get with steel clamps. I'll tighten the clamps up to close the gaps and get a good glue squeeze out, and then I'll clean the glue squeeze out with sawdust to get most of it off, and then I'll use a wet rag, making sure I remove any glue. It's a lot easier removing the glue when it's wet than trying to sand it off later when it's dry. I let the glue set up overnight and brought the countertop with me the next day when I fit the cabinets, and that way I was able to make a pattern and fit the countertop before sanding and finishing. If you'd like to see the cabinet installation video, I'll have a link in the description along with the project playlist. To fit the countertop, first I make a pattern with 1/8 inch plywood and a drawing compass. After cutting the scribe line on both pieces of the plywood pattern, I place the pattern tight against the wall at each side, and then tape the two pieces of plywood together. I then trace the pattern onto the countertop and make the cut with a jigsaw. Back in the shop, I'll use a roundover bit in the router to soften the front edge of the countertop. Next, I'll give the countertop a good sanding, and then finally it's ready for finish. I like to finish the bottom of the countertop with one coat of Waterlocks along with all the edges, and this seals the wood from any moisture in the atmosphere. And then for the top of the countertop, I'll use 5 coats, sanding in between coats. After the last coat has cured for 2 days, I'll hand rub the finish to give it a nice, soft look and feel. I made wooden clips to attach the countertop to the cabinet. The wooden clips fit into slots made with the biscuit joiner. Okay, well, I'm really happy with the way this project turned out, and I'm happy to have it finished and behind me so I can start building furniture. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you found it helpful, please hit that thumbs up button. That definitely helps me out. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll subscribe. And if you do, hit that little bell, and that will notify you each time I post a new video. As always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.